You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Y&R fans, it is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we've got a quick look at some of the big action coming next week on the CBS soap opera. But first, please click subscribe if you haven't. And now we're going to talk about 3 huge spoilers for the week of February 5th through 9th that just came out. And remember, this is the first full week of February sweeps, so we are looking at an action-packed week ahead. We've got a bunch more spoilers coming. Check back on Saturday and Sunday for weekly, 2 weeks, and all that. But this is early stuff. So we've got action for 2/3 of a love triangle. There's somebody who's circling the drain and headed for rock bottom, and 2 people that aren't usually in scenes together, and they're doing some kind of scheming. So that's interesting. Let's dig in and see what's ahead next week. We're going to start with the 2/3 of the love triangle people. So these are spoilers for Danny Romalotti and Christine Williams. And you know, I always go from least to most interesting, and this is definitely less interesting, at least to me. I know a few of you guys like the Danny, Christine, Phyllis thing, but you know. All right, so Danny and Christine run into each other at Crimson Lights. It's not a planned meeting. They just happen onto each other randomly, and Danny is kind of nervous and says to Christine, "I haven't seen you since, and she interrupts and says, "Since I saw you kissing Phyllis." Remember that night not that long ago when Phyllis was acting super skanky and showing off her bra in the jazz lounge? And then she kissed Danny, and Christine saw. Of course, Danny didn't know that she saw. He told Phyllis to stop and he walked away. And then he saw Christine in the GCAC main room. And then in a really tacky move, he went to kiss her and she cringed and pulled back. I mean, he went from swapping spit with Phyllis to trying to put that same mouth immediately on Christine. OMG. I think any woman would have had that reaction. Just icky, you know? Christine then basically dumped Danny that night, telling him she doesn't want to be in this 3-way situation. And then when Phyllis ran over to him and called her the bug, Danny lost it and told her, "We're done forever, for good. That's it." So that's what set this situation up we're going to see next week. So I'm expecting Danny to tell her he's not seen Phyllis, doesn't want Phyllis, cut her out of his life. He wants Christine, only her. Please give me another chance, that kind of thing. But will Christine give him another chance? Probably. But I also don't think Phyllis is going to stop, and sweeps spoilers indicate she will not stop either. All right, now let's talk about the 2 people who have a scene, and they are rarely seen together usually. This is Abby Newman and Tessa Porter. They are together at Society. Just the 2 of them having a chat seems out of character and out of the blue. Tessa tells Abby, "I was surprised that you wanted to meet with just me and not Mariah." I mean, and they are friends. That's fair. Abby says, "I have a proposition for you." So, you know, what kind of proposition would it be? I have seen some fans talking on social media where they're wondering if Abby's going to ask Tessa to have a baby for her, to be a surrogate. That would be weird, right? That would be a very strange thing to ask. So I don't know about that. I wonder more so if it's about Society. You know, Tessa used to sing there, and we know Abby's looking to take a step away from Society and do something new. She wants to work over on the board at Chancellor Winters with Devon. And although Tessa has been out on tour and doing some out-of-town stuff here and there that they've mentioned, you know, maybe she's looking for a local job so she can be around her daughter, Aria, and her wife, Mariah, more. So it is kind of a mystery what Abby wants. We'll see. And then last, we want to talk about Nikki Newman and her ongoing spiral towards rock bottom. This is big stuff for next week. So Nikki is drunk and basically passed out at a table at some ratty, random little dive bar. I mean, she is out of it. And then Victor walks up on her, shakes her gently to wake her up, and is saying, "Baby." And she's like, "Nikki." She says, "Oh God, Victor?" And he's like, "Yes." And then Nikki looks and she sees Jack is standing right there. And then she flips out and says, "No, no, no. What did you do?" Remember, ever since Jack found out Nikki had fallen off the wagon, he has been trying to get her to come clean to Victor Newman about these ongoing episodes and relapses and her continual drinking every time she's stressed out. But Nikki won't do it, and it's to the point where Victor suspects Nikki might be getting inappropriately close to Jack. He's assuming the worst because he doesn't know Jack is acting as her sponsor now. I still wonder about this Seth guy, who was her old sponsor, and I still suspect he might be working with or for Jordan. If not, why bother with all that? It just seems random. And of course, Jack and Nikki were married before, and Diane Jenkins is being very understanding about all this, but that's because Jack was transparent and honest with her about Nikki's relapse and how he's helping her. Jack told Nikki more than once that addiction thrives in the dark, like secrets, and that she shouldn't be lying about it, especially not to Victor, who is being very supportive. So next week, the week of February 5th, it seems Jack has had enough, and it looks like he is going to force Nikki's hand. I mean, it had to have been Jack who contacted Victor and brought him to that dive bar where she had boozed herself into incoherence. And the spoilers show Nikki is very annoyed with Jack, but I suspect Jack is at his breaking point, not in terms of losing his temper, but at his breaking point for where he just realizes he can't keep helping her this way. He can't keep helping her hide what's going on. And really, I think he and Victor just need to take Nikki and drop her off at some fancy, very secure rehab facility. That way she can feel safe because Jordan Howard can't get to her there, not easily, but I don't think they're going to do what she needs. So also bear in mind, Jordan Howard is coming back soon, and we know she's coming for Nikki, and the fear of Jordan coming for her is part of what's driving Nikki to drink. So kind of a catch-22. All right, that's the latest we have on what's happening next week on Young and the Restless. Be sure and check back because we will have a full roster of weekly spoilers and 2-week spoilers so you can see everything that's going on with Nikki and Victor and everyone else in the front burner storylines. Please drop your comments on what you're excited to see. Definitely subscribe if you haven't and come back soon because we are here talking wine our 7 days a week. And as always, I'm Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.